Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you are all having a great day. First things first, at the SBI financial results briefing, SBI Group CEO, his name is Yoshitaka Kitao, announced that the firm has already begun the discussions to create a project for R3 that uses XRP more extensively. He said, "We have already begun discussions to create a project to use XRP for R3. By using R3, XRP is used more extensively." There we go. End quote. SBI Group is one of the largest multi-billion-dollar financial institutions in Japan that operates with the three core businesses in asset management, biotech, and financial services. Since the creation of SBI Ripple Asia, a consortium of more than 60 Japanese banks, SBI Group has led the development and deployment of XRP-based products inside of China. In May 2017, SBI Group led a $107 million funding round for R3CEV, the largest blockchain consortium in the history of the industry that raised hundreds of millions of dollars to develop enterprise-grade blockchain networks. Since then, throughout the year, SBI Group has worked with R3 to create a variety of blockchain-based systems to be utilized by large-scale conglomerates. In April of this year, SBI Bank LLC, a major bank in Russia operated by SBI Group, joined the R3 blockchain consortium to cooperate with hundreds of financial institutions within the consortium in testing blockchain products. They said, "We regard blockchain as the core of fintech innovation and are working on various measures both in Japan and abroad. Through this effort, we believe that we can contribute to the progress of global blockchain field." This was said by SBI Group at the time. According to local analysts that have covered the SBI financial results briefing, the Japanese firm has not released any additional details regarding the integration of XRP and the new project the bank is currently developing. But considering the launch of MoneyTap, a mobile application that utilizes the Ripple network and specifically XRP to process cross-border transactions, analysts expect SBI Group to introduce a platform that extensively utilizes XRP and that encourages other banks in the consortium, as well as SBI Ripple Asia, to use XRP. Following a series of successful pilot tests, more than 61 Japanese banks are set to utilize MoneyTap to clear overseas transactions, accounting for more than 80% of assets and market share in the country. First of all, I was going to say what's the most interesting about all of this? All of it, every single part of this. The most interesting part to me, I could say, is that since 2017, we've had SBI Bank kind of in the spotlight. Whenever the word Ripple was uttered, SBI Bank was kind of always there. And the CEO of SBI Bank, Yoshitaka Kitao, has come forward many times and has explicitly stated that he and his bank plan on using XRP. But no one really knows the extent of what was supposed to happen or what is going to happen, especially because SBI Group also announced earlier this year as well, if I'm not mistaken, maybe at the end of 2017, that they were starting a cryptocurrency exchange that would use XRP as its base currency. But what seems to have happened is, much like every other project that we've had in the cryptocurrency space, no one is in the mood to launch anything simply because prices have been going down. If you launch something that's amazing, regardless of how great it might be or the future of the coin or where the entire thing might be going, if prices are down, no one's really going to pay attention with it. I'm sure you've realized as well, people have been noting in the comment section below, that many a time over the last couple of months, the news that we've gotten has been astronomically fabulous. Like nothing that we've gotten on a, let's say on a 80%, 85%, amazing news, 15% has been, we could have had better days. Just incredibly fantastic news, but the market has not moved. It's actually gone down, if anything, if not sideways, depending on which data you're actually looking at everything. But to have a bit of clarity that MoneyTap is going to be launching, or that it has been tested, and that we now know in some sort of way that 61 banks are at least 61 banks who are part of this, and especially with MoneyTap, and maybe even the other banks who are inside of Russia that are operated by SBI Bank. Because if you looked at the past tweets from Yoshitaka Kitao on Twitter, some of the things that he said, he's reposted things about people talking about that XRP is going to be $10 and XRP is going here. One can only assume logically that he probably himself has a large stake of XRP in his back pocket. What have you? That's kind of how finance works. But It's things like this that really kind of get the ball rolling. And once again, it still leads me to the idea, what's going to happen when we actually have this crazy bull market, simply because, I think things are going to be a lot crazier than people are actually paying attention to. I think that people think that when we do have some type of when the market ends up going up, that it may be, 15, 20%, or that it may, go up for about a couple of days and then flounder back down. We potentially have at least a couple of $1 trillion sitting on the sidelines right now from multiple banks, from institutions, from institutional investors, if you'd like to call them that, who have all been buying over the counter. And if not that, who have money waiting on the sides for some type of regulatory clarity, if you will, for this entire thing. I still believe that the next market bull run is going to be unlike anything that we've ever seen in our entire lives. A lot of people have been cashing out of the market simply because they have maybe lost faith in the market. They don't think that the market can do anything, is going to go anywhere. I'm as happy as could possibly be, especially when it comes to the future of cryptocurrencies. I think that what we need as a whole right now is just for the market to move, even if it's like 10% in a week, just to kind of move up, to give everyone that little glimmer of hope, if you will. But this is absolutely fantastic news. I wonder the extent that they're going to actually be using XRP, as far as like, we've constantly had news before that this company or this so-and-so was going to use XRP, but there's never like an in-depth, like, we know that they're going to use it. We know that they have a financial incentive to use it, but what else are they going to be using it in? Especially when we had the news a couple of, weeks ago, about not Coil. I can't remember exactly what it was. We have the XRP tip bot, which is now active and has been like making headlines as well. Haven't really spoken about that. There's like Coil, the Codius thing. There was some other, I think, like, what was it, like 15 startups or something like that who are trying to make apps or dApps or something like that that are going to be exclusive to XRP. There's a lot of stuff happening in the background, and when the bull market finally does eventually happen on that fabled, fantastic day, I can only assume that I'm going to have to make like 15 videos in a day, because I know it's going to be absolutely insane. But from here, let us move on. Next up, Aragon, the Ethereum dApp for structuring organizations, companies, and communities, already has 15,000 users, but up to now has been operating on the Ethereum testnet. Following an announcement by Aragon yesterday, the human collaboration dApp is now available for users to create organizations live on the Ethereum mainnet. As per the release, they said today, decentralized organizations are real, end quote. Aragon version 0.6, titled Alba, heralds a new era for human collaboration. This was said by Aragon. With the application, users can create a decentralized autonomous organization, or a DAO, for their community or business, and then use it to discuss issues and vote on organizational decisions. I said discussions again. The DAO concept can be applied to any kind of organization to foster effective governance or provide organizational transparency. Via Aragon 0.6, modules can be added to an organization's interface in the platform, allowing activities like fundraising through token generation. Aragon incorporates core areas of organizational structure, administration, and jurisdiction, including accounting, governance, and identity. Aragon was one of the most spoken about crypto projects in 2017. Since then, obviously, we have not heard too much about it, simply because the market has been going down, if you may have not noticed. It was Aragon. There were like 4 other ones as well. Like BAT wasn't one of them, but it was in the nicest way, it was like the weird named Ethereum ERC20 projects that kind of all were like clustered together. What was the other one? Augur. Yeah, that was another one as well that was heavily spoken about. So the fact that Aragon has finally gone live after all this time, maybe the timing is just perfect as far as the November time frame, and since we're almost near December at this point, is very nice to hear that this has finally launched. One of the things, remember when I still had that Q&A type thing, and people were asking me, what did I think about this? What did I think about that? Like, what were my top 20, 15, 25, something like that coins? And I said I couldn't really effectively choose coins, simply because if you even look at some of like the top 15, 20, 25 coins, a lot of them have either just launched in the summer, or a lot of them are still testnet and trying on this and not have really activated, or they don't have their proof of stake yet. So like a lot of the projects that we have right now, this is why people keep saying that cryptocurrencies are still in their infancy, or that we're around anywhere from 1993 to 1999 when it comes to where cryptocurrencies are in comparison to the internet, because so many of the projects that we have right now really haven't even launched. A lot of them are still being tested, but hopefully by 2019, that's a thing of the past, and we have an enormous amount of crypto projects that have been in development since around 2015, 2016 that finally end up launching, and we end up having a brighter, more decentralized future where people don't have to rely on centralized authorities as much when it comes to decision making. And especially, yeah, I guess that's really all that I really have to say about that. So very good on the Aragon team for finally going live on the Ethereum mainnet. Next up, so this one's actually kind of cool. On the 10th anniversary of the birth of cryptocurrency, blockchain-based point of sales, or POS, systems provider known as BizKey is launching what they call a token day in Singapore from October 31st to November 18th. It's more like a token 2.5 weeks this year to allow the public to familiarize themselves with digital assets and hopefully enable the space to reach critical mass. In a statement, BizKey said that Token Day would give the public the opportunity to experience cryptocurrency in a retail setting. They said although cryptocurrency was first invented 10 years ago, crazy, very few people in the world have the chance actually to use it to buy products and services. We want to change this through Token Day, which will be the first time that retailers in Singapore will accept cryptocurrencies as payment on such a large scale. This was said by the CEO of BizKey. He estimates that between 10,000 and 15,000 people in Singapore own digital currencies, and that they are more likely to be in their mid-20s or early 40s, and mostly tech-savvy males. He said, "We hope these individuals and the wider public will be keen to try out the novelty of being amongst the pioneering cryptocurrency spenders in Singapore," end quote. Hoang explained 30 retailers are participating in the Token Day and are clustered around Singapore's Chinatown. The retailer will accept the various digital assets as payment during the period. In addition, the public can also utilize BizKey's intelligent blockchain point of sales device to allow them to either use digital currencies to pay for their purchases, including Ethereum, Binance Coin, Elf Coin, and Zilliqa Coin. This is incredibly cool. We had something like this. I can't remember the name of the country. I want to say it was Slovenia. A couple of months ago where they had that thing. They had like a mall specifically built for crypto payments and crypto mall and stuff like that. Incredibly cool. I wish other places took the time to be able to make things like this, or that's not to say that we don't or that we can't have these in the future, but I think these are incredibly important. It's nice. I mean, I wish it was a bit longer than 2.5 weeks, but it's better than a day. I don't know why they called it Token Day. It doesn't really. Anyway, love the idea. I hope this continues. A lot of these. So as crypto has come of age, if you will, and has become a bit more popular in the last couple of months, a lot of people have been doing research and they've been figuring out that I can't remember the number. I think it's something like, was it 15% of people in Canada, I believe, own cryptocurrencies. I think like 45% of people in America have actually heard of cryptocurrencies, and they all kind of more or less fit in within this structure of age. My idea always is, if you know someone who is maybe younger than this or older than this number right here, give them a chat, go hang out with them, have some coffee, have some tea, talk to them about cryptocurrency. You might sound insane to them, but at least you've brought the idea to their head. It really, I guess maybe because we're so deep in the cryptocurrency space, it always kind of baffles me that more people haven't heard of cryptocurrencies, or don't even know what Bitcoin is or what Bitcoin does, or it's all kind of weird to me. It's kind of like not knowing like what PayPal is, or like someone asking you to Google something and they ask you how to spell Google. Kind of weird, at least to me. Hopefully this ends up, rather crypto ends up spreading more than it already has, but this is incredibly cool. And if you know someone who happens to know someone who is able to create things like this in your own country, town, city, province, farmland, town, wherever you might be, try and start something like this. It sounds incredibly cool, and I'm pretty sure you would get a lot of attention for doing it as well. Next up, MetaMask the most popular Ethereum and ERC20 token standard wallet developed by Consensus, has released its mobile client at DevCon. At DevCon, a major Ethereum-focused conference held in Prague, Czech Republic, hosted by large conglomerates and leading cryptocurrency businesses including EY, Microsoft, Shapeshift, Santander, Blockfolio, and Wanxiang, the MetaMask development team officially released and showcased the MetaMask Mobile Wallet. Joseph Lubin, who is the founder and CEO of New York-based Consensus, the largest blockchain software firm in the world with over 1,000 developers, shared the product release with the official user interface of MetaMask Mobile. Here is the little image of it. MetaMask, which launched in early 2016, has become the go-to wallet for Ethereum and ERC20 token users, mostly due to its compatibility of handling various decentralized applications, or dApps, requests in its simple user interface that enables the transfer of Ethereum and tokens launched on top of the Ethereum blockchain network. For years, many MetaMask users have asked for a mobile client of the wallet, and the vast majority of Ethereum users have started to rely on MetaMask as the main Ethereum and token wallet. For over 2 years, MetaMask was only available for users in the form of a browser extension on Chrome, Brave, and Firefox, and was restricted to mobile users. So I checked the MetaMask website, and they still only have the things for the actual extensions on the browsers, but nothing as far. I guess maybe they were only announcing it, and the thing hasn't actually come out yet. I think it's interesting how much news that we've been getting the last couple of weeks about the amount of people who are trying to have apps or have other things that like allow for mobile payments on our phones, simply because while it may be convenient in some way to, like, be able to pay for things on your computer or to have something on your desktop, it seems a lot easier or more realistic that we would want to be able to use things on our phone or our tablet, simply because this is kind of what we use on a daily basis. Anyway, apparently this is going to launch relatively soon. I can only assume within the next couple of weeks. I hope that they do this before the end of 2018. That would be kind of cool. But there are an enormous amount of dApps that are starting to come out, or rather other type of like payment options that are going to be coming out for cryptocurrencies in the next couple of months. Hopefully not the end of 2019. That would not be a very good time frame, but hopefully this ends up coming out soon, especially because they were talking about it at the conference, and I can only assume that the app is in its final stages of development and or is going to be rolled out within the next couple of weeks. And to finish things off, Blockchain.com announced the addition of an Ethereum block explorer, which puts Ethereum data right at users' fingertips. The company also announced it was giving their explorer a fresh new look and streamlining the way users interact with the data. Whether a wallet user wants to find information about addresses and transactions, a researcher looking for data on the health of the networks, or a crypto enthusiast who wants to make informed trading and transaction decisions, it is now possible to view top network statistics, watch real-time incoming transactions, search for blocks, addresses, or transactions, and more from all in one place. The Blockchain.com team said, as more protocols and assets emerge, we'll be expanding the Explorer functionality to support the growing ecosystem. Here's kind of some of what it looks like. For a very long time, they only had Bitcoin, so the fact that they have added Ethereum is kind of no surprise. They kind of go hand in hand. People say that Bitcoin and Ethereum don't compete against each other. I think in a small way they do, whether you want to believe it or not. A lot of people are betting on Bitcoin or Ethereum to constantly be the number one coin at some point, especially when we end up potentially maybe one day in the near future actually having Plasma built on top of Ethereum. This is the event called the Flippening. Not going to really get into that, but it's very, I guess it's an historic moment, if you will, the fact that they actually ended up adding this. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for this video. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, and or evening. Like, only good news. Like, it's really, really weird. Didn't mean to throw that out there once again. The fact that we're only having good news nonstop about everything. At some point, the market has to go up. Just kind of how I feel. I'm not going to beat that dead horse once again. But it does feel very weird that every single project, a large number of projects, are constantly having good news and the market sits still. Hope you all enjoyed. Have a great day, morning, afternoon, and or evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. Thank you once again for watching and or listening. I do appreciate all your support. And I will talk to you all soon. See you.